The contemplation opens up the opportunity for the truth to be revealed to you. Welcome to Energetics with Kim and Veronica, where we invite you to nourish the energy of your inner why, your inner healing, magic, prosperity, your curiosity, clarity, playfulness. Welcome home. Mirror, mirror on the wall. We're going to talk today about the concept of how life mirrors back to us what might be time for us to see. And it's mirroring back to us always. And this is a concept that has been explored a lot. And we're just going to talk about it through our lens. I'm Veronica, and this is my partner, Kim. Hey, Kim.
Hello, Miss Veronica. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And if this is your first time, hello. Yeah, so mirror really, thing.
Go ahead.
No, no, you go. You go.
No, you go. It's really, it's fascinating because this is probably, this is something obviously that you and I have been exploring for many, many, many years, looking at for ourselves personally how life reflects back to us things that are, maybe blind for us. Life is beautiful in the way that it can really point and highlight for us areas where we can reflect for our evolution, for our growth, for our deepening, for our transformation. And it's in every single moment, there's something being mirrored back to us that if we look, if we open our eyes, if we listen, if we feel, if we're willing, then we can actually take it all as an opportunity. And often what happens is when life is mirroring things to us, we are feeling the discomfort and we're trying to manage that discomfort or push things away or numb ourselves, etc., instead of really taking the chance to look at, okay, well, what is life mirroring to me? What does that actually mean? And what might I do with this?
Yeah. You know what? The mirror thing has always been like fingernails going down a blackboard for me. It has been because there was a bit of the concept I got, and yet it didn't feel like, oh, there's way more to it than that. And I wasn't hearing, if you will, others speak about it. I just didn't have my own awareness around it. And what was being presented to me wasn't quite it. So it felt like, yes, and I wasn't getting the and because I was going, that doesn't quite feel right to me. So I was kind of like flicking it off like a boogie, right? It was like, nope, there's something. Yeah, I get it. And so, so it took me, so whatever. So yeah.
Well, I would just love to pause though and acknowledge you, Kim, there for, how you've said that when something feels like nails down a chalkboard, when there's a concept that people are talking about and there's something that doesn't feel good about it, there's a truth in there for you, right? So instead of saying, oh, I don't like this person, I don't like this idea, I don't like this concept, it's like, if it's activating something so strongly for me, there's a truth in there, but what is it? And then we can go down on that journey of exploration to really find our own truth within this concept. I really appreciate that you are so present with it and so willing to be with it instead of just pushing it away.
Thank you. I appreciate you for appreciating me. Yeah, no, I do. And so for me, like I've been into this work deeply since the 90s. And so the mirror concept, what's annoyed me about it was seemed to be always presented in one kind of way. And when I say kind of way, I say it that way because maybe it was presented in many different ways and I just didn't notice it. I didn't see it. Doesn't mean it wasn't presented in all these different ways that we're going to chat about. Maybe I just had that wall up around that mirror thing. So I got it. And as you said, I knew there was more, but for whatever reason, I wasn't seeing it at mirror. Anyway, and I also love how you welcomed in this concept, Veronica, and because isn't that what all personal self-development is about looking at what it's bringing up in us. And so so for me, it's like, if I want to develop, if I want to grow, if I want to expand, if I want to evolve, that's all about me and my self-responsibility and how I'm showing up in the world. And the world will show me where I'm out of alignment with my God self, with the universe that is within me, with my infinite being, whatever it is I'm looking to create. And so I love how you brought that in. So yeah, the mirror thing, the biggest thing that I noticed or was aware of that was being taught, if you will, as an example of the mirror was, let me see, okay, so I'm just going to say it this way. If I'm pointing my finger at someone, or if I'm seeing someone as I'm going to use the word narcissist because that's the one that is there. The mirror effect of that, the thing that's been being taught forever is that, well, if I'm seeing them as a narcissist, when the mirror effect comes in, chances are I'm a narcissist. And I've seen many opportunities where I'm like, no, that isn't actually true for me. So what is it? What the hell is it? And so that's why the mirror thing has been fingernails going down the blackboard for me, because that seemed to be, most of the teachings out there is if I see this person as then maybe it means I'm or maybe I see others as right? And so that's how it's been offered a lot. And there's no wrongness in that. But for me, it was like, but what if I'm not that? What if I'm not treating people the way that they're treating me? So what is the thing? What is the thing? And I'm a contemplator. Listen, I just am. I can be driving and contemplating. I think everyone does that. And so for me, what has shown up around this more for me, and I'm still playing with it, and it'll continue because that's just the way life shows up sometimes when you allow it. So for me, what I started to notice is, so I'm just going to use the narcissist as an example. So if I'm in what I'm labeling as a narcissistic relationship, he's a narcissist, she's a narcissist, whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a narcissist and that's how the mirror effect happens. What it can mean, though, is, perhaps what it's mirroring to me is, wow, look at how I'm willing to allow someone to treat me. So that can be the mirror, the reflection. Wow, I'm actually allowing someone to treat me like that. And that can be what it activates within me, what it brings up for me. It doesn't always have to mean I'm narcissistic. It can show me, though, that I'm letting somebody be that way with me. So it's not that they're wrong. They're just being who they be. But what is it mirroring from me? Oh, wow, look, I'm letting somebody treat me this way. Okay. Where do I treat me this way? Right? Where do I treat me this way? That I'm a walking on legs, treat me this way person. So what if that is part of the mirror? They're showing me how I treat myself and how I allow others to treat me. Right?
Such a beautiful reflection and a different perspective to look at the concept of the mirroring. So, I'm surrounded by narcissists. Maybe there is a part of me that has narcissism that I can examine and explore and contemplate. Maybe, to your point, it's more about looking at how I'm treating myself. And, I think there's also other avenues or other ways that this might be mirroring opportunities to us. Maybe I have decided that I want to experience something in life, or I want to become something in life. And by experiencing a relationship with a narcissist, or, replace that with anything, maybe it's giving me an opportunity to really look at what I'm allowing for myself. Maybe it's giving me an opportunity to look at what's really true for me, like to really strengthen that ability to examine my own truth and to stand strong in my choices. Am I going to continue to choose this for me? Is it, is this something that I'm going to continue to choose to live with? Or, and maybe, and so it's an opportunity for us to really explore ourselves and look at, okay, in the bigger picture, in the infinite game, in who I want to become and what I want to create and what I want to experience. What opportunity is this experience giving to me that will allow me to cultivate something different, to understand something different about myself, to strengthen a skill within me, whether it's, the choice for myself, whether it's loving myself, whether it's learning how to be with emotions and energetics. Like, what is the opportunity here? So it's maybe it's reflecting back to me what's actually active within me. Maybe it's, in terms of how I interact with others. B, maybe it's reflecting how I treat myself. Or C, maybe it's, an opportunity for me to cultivate, to explore, to strengthen, to become the person that I've decided I want to become. Or D, E, E, F, right? Like there could be so many other versions that it's there for us. So I think that, you and I always talk about what's the first step. And the first step is really looking at what is life mirroring to me, right? Like really noticing what is it mirroring to me? What are the patterns? What are the things that kind of either it's in multiple places in my life there's similar themes, there's similar types of people, there's similar events or circumstances, or it's, it continues to happen over and over again. There's this concept of, you can leave the person that you're in your relationship with that you don't like, and you'll just maybe marry the same person with a different face and a different body because you haven't yet examined what this is giving to you. There's something that's there that, it's reflecting to you, that's giving to you that you haven't yet taken the time to be with. And so allowing ourselves to start that contemplation, waking up to what is life mirroring to me and what can I maybe explore and receive from what life is giving to me.
I love that. Yeah. And because again, it's more than just, just because this person is letting, and again, when we love ourselves so much, when we can fall in love with ourselves and love ourselves so much, we're not going to allow people to treat us like that. We're just not. Right. And if they do, because listen, if they do. So for example, one of my examples is, it can be easy for me to fall in the trap when it comes to my family that I don't matter. Oh, look, they're showing me again that I just don't matter. They don't even think about me for that thing. They don't, they don't even think about me. So, it keeps compounding. I don't matter. And, sometimes I've actually had my partner go, "Oh, that happened. Oh, I feel bad for you." And I was like, "Yeah." Right. And finally one day I went, well, so what is the mirror here? So I went to, cause again, me sitting with the mirror thing that just was fingernails going down the blackboard for me. And I was like, okay, so if the mirror thing is true, if the mirror thing is a thing, how does it apply here? And so I was like, well, I know that I don't treat others as if they don't matter. Because listen, I'm almost anal with it. I will, I include people. I'll go to ends length to include people and make sure that they matter. So it's like, okay, so it's not mirroring that. So what is it? So I kept being with Coach. So what is it? And then what I got to see is, the mirror, what they're reflecting to me is this belief that I have about myself that I don't matter. It's not that it was reflecting and mirroring that I treat people like they don't matter. It wasn't that. Fingernails down the blackboard. Okay, the mirror isn't working here. So what is it? And that's what it ended up to be for me. It's like, oh my God, they're reflecting to me my own feelings that I have about myself that I don't matter. And so they're just an external validation of it. And so it finally got to that tipping point. I mean, listen, I know I matter. We all matter. I know that. I've done all the workshops and all the things, and I know I matter. I know I'm making a huge difference on this planet. I know that. And yet at the same time, what was this thing, right? What was this thing? And so that's what it mirrored to me is, oh, they're just showing to me this thing that I have. So yeah, I matter. Yeah, I do. But there was something deeper where they were just reflecting what was something else. They were reflecting to me. They were mirroring to me this. It was my go-to. Oh, they didn't think about me again. I just don't matter to those people. I'm not important to those people. And so that is how I was able to look at the mirror. So it wasn't that I was doing it to them, wasn't that I was doing it to the world, wasn't the three fingers pointing back to me in that manner. It was more, they're showing me. They're just a reflection of me thinking, believing, feeling on whatever level, because it wasn't conscious, that I don't matter. Yeah. So I
I
was able to
love
use
that.
that as a tool. Yeah. Thank
Mhm.
you. Yeah. So I started looking at that everywhere. And oh my God.
Yeah, it's the
So it gets to
macro
show me,
micro, right?
yeah. And it gets to show me where I'm out of alignment. Out
Hmm.
of alignment with what? Well, my divine self, my God self, my whatever you want to call that. It gets to show me where I'm out of alignment with what it is I would like to create and actualize and manifest. Right? So if I have this thing of, oh, well, I just don't matter. Well, of course, when I show up, that unconscious thing or wherever it is playing itself out, right? And so, yeah, so I get to really notice my own mind chatter, noticing it even more of those. Now, what's the difference between heart and mind? Oh, the mind is the one that goes, yeah, that kind of stuff. You don't matter. They didn't include you again. And then that gives me a moment again to go, okay, that is not in alignment. Those thoughts are not in alignment with who I want to be in the world and how I want others to treat me and how I want to show up. That's just the mind going, see, happened again, right? There's the evidence. See? And so I get to notice those thoughts and I get to go, wait a minute. Okay, is that in alignment with the mission? Is that in alignment with who I want to be and what I want to create? No. Boom, that mind chatter stops as soon as I name it as such. Because otherwise, I can go down the rabbit hole and thinking it's true because there's the evidence, they did it, all the things, right? And so, yeah, there's so much more to mirroring than what I thought. Again, it's not just saying, oh, then I treat people like they don't. No. I can say, so where have I been that and done that? Right. And I don't have to have an answer. I could just clear it. Okay, boom. The other thing with the mirror for me is another piece of, if somebody is crying, maybe I want to rescue them. And how would the mirror show up there? Well, it could be, okay, so I'm uncomfortable with them and their tears. The mirror there could be, oh, maybe I'm wanting to rescue them and stop their crying because I'm actually uncomfortable with my own crying and tears and sadness. So can I be an allowance of that person being exactly where they're at? Can I be an allowance of where I'm at when I'm sad and wanting to have my moments? So it's kind of like it's a trigger. The mirror can also, somebody's doing something and that's triggering something within me. It's activating something within me. So it's like they're very interconnected, this mirror, this activation, the trigger, right? Same with someone walks in a room and they're incredibly joy. That can activate and mirror and trigger the joy that is within you. So that mirror thing is not just how I had been thinking it was, it's so many other things, right? Okay, if I'm seeing the joy in them, can I see the joy in me? Can I allow the joy in me? Can I allow the tears in me? Can I allow all of me? And somebody is doing amazing and doing $1 million months or whatever. Can I let that activate that capacity within me? Or am I going to go down the rabbit hole and be like, oh, it's always her. It always happens for her, not me. Is that in alignment with how I want to show up and be? No. So it gets to show me where I'm out of alignment with having that for me. There's so much to it. Oh my God.
There's
Mirror,
so much.
mirror
There's
on
so
the
many,
wall.
so many. Yes, there's so many, and it kind of gives me that you know, when you go into like the amusement parks and you have all these mirrors, right? You remember, you know, that thing where you walk in and
The
you see
house of
like a
mirrors.
thousand. Yeah, the house of mirrors. Thank you. Yeah, and you see all the different versions of yourself, and there's just like and I think in the same aspect, it's like there's so many different ways we could look at that. There's just as many ways we could look at it, infinite ways, right? And I really like what you brought out about the, you know, like we were saying, the macro versus the micro. Like what you're seeing on the macro is what's happening in the micro. It's what's playing out inside of you in some fashion, but maybe not as prescriptive as we had heard in the past about, okay, if I'm surrounded by narcissists, that means I am a narcissist. It's not as simple as that. There could be so many different variations of how this is playing out for you. And so instead of just saying, well, I'm not a narcissist, so therefore this mirror thing is not working. Like, well, what if we can deepen the contemplation and deepen the exploration and you know, shed a light on what's happening within us and look at how, if there is a reason, we don't have to know the reason, but if there is a reason that life is reflecting this back to me, what if I can lean into it, to explore it, to allow it to reveal to me, you know, what's available for transformation or for healing or for evolution or for growth. I think about, you know, I went through many seasons in my career where I always had toxic people in my teams, and I could have looked at that and said, okay, well, does that mean I'm a toxic person? Maybe there's an aspect of it that, you know, that could be playing out within me. Or what if I've just decided that I really want to be a very influential, authentic, strong leader? And what if that's giving me an opportunity? It's reflecting an opportunity for me to really be with people who are operating in that way so that I can strengthen my ability to be a leader. So it could be all of the above too, right? Maybe there is some toxicity that's playing out in me that I can examine, and maybe there is an opportunity for me to really strengthen and develop and refine my leadership skills. It's probably a little bit of all of it. And so I think, you know, I think for me it really goes back to, you know, where you started, Kim, in terms of there's something here that's not clicking for me in the way that this concept has been presented. I can feel the irk. And so there's another truth here that's available to me. And can I allow myself to feel the irk, if it even happens with other concepts, and really lean into what truth might be here for me? And when we think about the concept of the mirror, the contemplation, the observation, the noticing, and then the contemplation. How might the contemplation opens up the opportunity for the truth to be revealed to you?
I love that. And I love that you brought up the toxic people thing, because the other thing is also, for me, how do I be with this? How do I respond to being in a room with toxic people, or whatever the case may be? And at the same time, it's like, if I love myself so much and more and more and more and more and more and more and more, how would I actually be in the room with those people? And again, this is where, you know, now there's some situations like work where, for you, I noticed all of a sudden a lot of those toxic people disappeared. Right. And so, you know, when we can own how we're feeling about it and not doing they're toxic people, and now I'm going to react and respond, and now I'm a toxic person. Good. Now you're one of the peas in the pea soup. And right. So it's about, you know, they get to reflect to us how I be in those situations. And is it in alignment, or is it out of an alignment? What is it triggering within me? So it gets to show me what it's triggering, where I'm in alignment. So that's the opportunity for me, is it gets to show me where I'm out of alignment. And most of that is a lot of it is the mind. A lot of it is the mind that's just been there to protect us, right? And it's just trying to keep us safe and protect us and all the things like that, which is cool. But yeah, really noticing our thoughts and am I in alignment here? And taking responsibility for that. But yeah, there's so much out there that can actually mirror so much of that. And so yeah, so I can see it now so much differently than just looking at where am I that just wasn't quite it for me. That's a piece of it perhaps, but that wasn't it for me. And yeah, noticing when I allow that stuff to take me out of alignment with who I want to be, how I want to show up, and what I'm looking to create. Now, listen, it's kind of like, some people when they hold a newborn baby and they just go into, oh my God zone, right? That's not for everybody, but they just go into this place, right? What is that mirroring? That's mirroring to us, perhaps. It's triggering and activating that purity, that love that just came from God or whatever you want to call it, that is within us. You know how we often hear that saying, Veronica, I know I'm not going to get these words right, but you know how we have to hear people say, oh my God, you're so awesome. Well, you can't see it in others unless you have it too, right? So we have that saying, it's out there, right? Well, you couldn't see it in me if it wasn't in you too. Well, that's the mirror, right? So when you see beauty in someone else and oh my God in someone else and ooh la la in someone else, that's mirroring to us that, wow, that is within me as well. Yeah. So it's a cool tool.
Cool tool. Cool tool.
Cool tool.
Yeah, and maybe just take it on, like go through the rest of your day after listening to this and start looking at life through that lens. What is it reflecting back to me? Wake up tomorrow and spend the whole day just allowing yourself to look at what's the reflection here? What's the reflection? And there's so many ways in which it can be reflecting something to you, and contemplate, explore. It's not about a one size fits all, and that's what Kim and I are very passionate about. Everyone's truth is different and everyone's experience is different. And so it's about opening it up, not locking it in. Thank God.
Yeah. And just looking. Maybe someone's just showing you where you're out of alignment. It can be as simple as that. Simple as that. Oh, they're showing me that I'm out of alignment. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, love. I love you.
Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone. We really appreciate it if you enjoyed this conversation. Share, subscribe, like, comment, all the things. We appreciate it. If you have a friend or family member who you think can benefit, pass it along. That's how we can grow. Until next time.
That's how we get to help the world be something